All right, welcome to AMP1 Summer 2014. This is a short presentation on the syllabus. The syllabus, in case you're wondering, tells you everything you need to know about the course. And so I'm going to go over a few key points in this little video, and those of you who are watching before the class starts, hurrah, you're going to be ahead of the curve. Okay, so syllabus. What's in the syllabus? Well, my information. My name is Dr. Kristen Lorries, and I teach AMP1. This seems to be my specialty now. Someday down the line, I'll be really good at it. So, I do have an office in the Science and Technology building. It is room 325. I am generally there at least an hour before class time. You'll notice that I have office hours listed as by appointment, and that is because when I had them regularly scheduled, nobody showed up. Okay? So if you need to meet with me, send me an email. I am often on campus, or I can very easily be there. So just let me know, okay? Also, key information, my email is listed here on the syllabus. And note the spelling of my name. Sometimes the school gets it wrong, but my name is spelled Kristin. So just be aware of that. Make sure you spell my name correctly. Okay? All right. So that's the first piece of information. Next thing that you'll find on our syllabus here is the textbook. For the summer session, we are still using the 6th edition, Anatomy and Physiology, The Unity of Form and Function by Ken Saladin. And the key point of this is you need Connect access. Now, with regard to the book, you do not have to buy a brand new one. You can rent a textbook if that's what you would choose to do. You can buy a used copy. You can use a 5th or a 6th edition. That's fine. What you really need to have is this Connect account access, and we'll talk more about why, but mostly the reason is your homework. Okay, so you need to have Connect. The Connect access in and of itself costs, I think, like $70. The other thing is if you can stand to read off a computer screen, the company also offers Connect access with ebook, so you could just have the ebook. But that is entirely up to you what you want to do. I would recommend having a book, and I would also recommend looking at it once in a while. I have found that students often don't do that and then are surprised that when they start to actually look at the textbook, they seem to do better in class. I had one student in particular who demonstrated this point admirably. All right, course description. This is a two-part sequence. We are going to be considering the macroscopic and microscopic anatomical and physiological study of cells, tissues, organ systems of the human body. Macroscopic, what you can see with the naked eye. Microscopic, what you need a microscope for. We will talk about the definition of anatomy and physiology in class. And we'll be looking at this idea of homeostasis and the relationship between structure and function. You must always remember that structure and function are very, very closely entwined. They're integrated, and they inform one another. And we shall see that throughout this course, okay? And in this semester, we're going to be looking at some basic biological concepts. We are going to be looking, we're going to look at some of the basic chemistry that you need to know to get through the class. We're going to look at the building blocks of life, known as cells, cellular organization, and some genetics. We're going to look a little bit at that. Then we're going to move into, you'll also look at types of tissues, and you'll consider the integumentary system, skin, in case you're wondering. And we will be doing muscles, bones, muscles, the endocrine system, the reproductive system, and then some bits and bobs about metabolism, water, electrolyte, and acid-base balance. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing this semester. All right, course outline. This is a tentative outline with exam dates. Please note that this is subject to change. This is my first time teaching summer, so we're going to see how it goes, okay? And we will adjust accordingly, but what I've given you is what I'm sort of planning to do. You will notice that we are not spending very much time on any given chapter. This is going to move fast, so you have to stay on top of the work. And let's have a look at that. I need to end this. I didn't want to do that. Well, we'll keep my writing here for right now. So this is what our syllabus looks like here, and this is what I wanted to show you right there. This is sort of what our exam schedule looks like. So 1.5 weeks, exam. Another 1.5, almost 1.5 weeks, exam. 1.5 weeks, exam. Okay, so it's going to be boom, 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 and you got to be prepared for it. As opposed to the normal semesters, I usually give all my exams 2 chapters at a time. I'm going for the second half of the semester, we're going to try to do blocks of 3 simply because the topics go together rather nicely. Okay. So this is what the temporary schedule looks like. You can see it's really short. Okay, so you got to be prepared to move. Stay on top of the work. Let's continue with this presentation over here. Oh, fudge, that's going to take me back to the beginning. I hit the wrong thing. So let's flip through, have a look. All right, so what everybody wants to know, how is this class graded? Well, first off, I'm going to tell you that there are going to be, oops, I forgot to put my pen back on. First off, we have to let you know that there are going to be 6 exams probably instead of 7, and these comprise 30% of your final grade. Now, this grading scheme is known as a weighted grade, okay? So when I figure out your grades, what I will do, and I'm going to show you this formula, you're all going to freak out, but I have included a grading template for you, and I will help you figure out how to use it. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, okay, 30%, 0.3 times whatever the average of your lectures exams is, plus 0.15 times the average of your homework score, whatever that may be, hopefully it's 100, plus, where am I at, 0.15 times your midterm, plus 0.15 times your final. And then 25% is your lab score. So then the last 25%, put it up here, 0.25 times your lab score, and I'll show you how that's plus that. And if you add all that together, you add all these numbers, 30 plus 15, 15, 15, and 25, this is going to equal 100%. Okay, that's how I calculate your grade. So what does that mean? I'm going to tell you right now. That means that you must do well. You must do well on these, and in particular on your midterm and your final. Okay? You must score well on those tests. And I will do my best to help you to do that. And the reason you must score well on those tests is if you add up these numbers, what you will find is that 60% of your grade consists of your lecture exams plus your midterm and final. All right? And I'm telling you this at the beginning so that you know how important these exams are. Okay? And that's what does this mean for you? Now, my way of helping you, I have 2 ways in which I help you. Check that. 3 ways. The first is I give you homework. I don't have to. That homework score, I could spread that 15% over your lecture exams, your midterm, and your final. So do your homework. It's a gift. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is. The other thing that I do, and I started doing it last semester, and the other thing that I do, which I have done since the beginning, is I curve. So these lecture exams right here are going to be curved. What does that mean? It basically means I give you points. However, be aware I cannot curve the midterm, and the final. So whatever you get, you get. If you get a 35% on the midterm, you get a 35%. Now, if you get a 35% on a lecture exam, like if that's, what your point value comes out as, if you were to get, let's just say you got 15, well, let's say one of my lecture exams, let's say lecture exam 1 had 50 questions on it and you got 15 out of 50. That's a 30%, right? But your recorded score might be 50%. That's an awful big leap. You don't usually get 20 points. But, so that's a big difference. And that's a way that I help you. However, I cannot do that for the midterm and finals, and you must earn those scores, okay? All right. So let's look up, makeup policy. Please contact me as soon as you know you will miss an exam, preferably before you miss it, to make arrangements. If it takes more than one class period for you to make it up, I can subtract points from your score. If you do not contact me and do not make up the exam, I will record a 0. And homework cannot be made up, and here's the key point, is that you have, during the normal school year, you have 2 weeks. During the abbreviated summer semester, you're going to have approximately a week to a week and a half to get it done. And it's not that hard, okay? So just be aware. That's why there's no makeups on that. So let's talk about the homework. There are 3 types of assignments. There's Learn Smart. There's one Learn Smart assignment per chapter. This is slightly wrong. I did change it. For chapter 2, and I'll tell you now, for chapter 2, there are 2 separate Learn Smart assignments. And the reason is that I did sections 1 through 3 as one assignment, and then I gave you a lot of questions on section 4, which is organic molecules, and you will need to know organic molecules really well for the rest of the semester. Okay, so there are actually 2 assignments for that. Connect, there are additional homework assignments. These are reviews that I have created, and yes, indeed, they are homework, and you must do them. There are some handwritten assignments because sometimes you just need to write it out to learn it. And what I will do is I will post it on Blackboard with the whole copy of the assignment. You can submit it to me either via Blackboard or on the due date in class. Okay? And I'll tell you more about those when we get to them. Connect assignments. There are a couple things when you use Connect. First of all, when you first register for Connect, make sure that you use your BC3 email address. I don't care if you don't check it for any other thing, but I use it for BC3. Use that address for your login. It just helps. These assignments must be done on a computer or a laptop, and you should access them by a link on Blackboard. At this time, you cannot use a tablet or a smartphone. Let me repeat that, and we'll put a little thing. Do not use tablet or smartphone. It will not record you. It totally does not record that you do any work at all. You could spend hours doing the assignment. It will not record any of it. So use a computer or a laptop. McGraw-Hill is working to come out with an app. I don't know when it's coming out. So until that app is available, you have to use a computer or a laptop. Now, note the next statement. For your own protection, whenever you complete a Connect assignment, take a screenshot. I have had problems in the past with Connect servers dropping data, and if I don't have proof that you did it, I can't give you credit. So take a screenshot and save them. You can do this in one of 2 ways, and I will help you do that. I will tell you how to do that if you don't know how. If you need to, you can take a picture of a computer screen with your phone. That works. That's totally cool with me. All right? Just remember, after you complete any Connect assignment, you take a screenshot. All right. Help! This class, let me start out with this sentence. You will struggle. There's a boatload of information to learn. This is a very demanding class. You must stay on top of the work. So if you will struggle, so what should you do? 1, look at the textbook. There's a lot of good information there. There's a reason we use it. 2, ask. I am always available by email. There's some other technology, and I'm going to try to use it if it's applicable here. But ask me. Ask a friend who's doing better than you in the class. Ask someone, please. And please note, do not wait until the evening before the exam. The sooner that we address the issue, the sooner we get you set on course, the sooner that we are hopefully getting you on the path to enlightenment. Okay? So, ask. Next, BC3 offers each of its students 1 free hour of tutoring per class. If you can take advantage of this service, please do. These people are wonderful, and they're giving up some of their time to help you. Admittedly, they get paid, but it's not a lot. So, take advantage of the free tutoring offered by BC3. The tutoring is free for you, okay? I know a lot of you work, so the other thing is I record my lectures and I post them on YouTube. Plus, there's some other tutorials, and I have links to some Bozeman science presentations by Mr. Anderson that I totally love, and some other things, okay? We might have an online study session. I don't know. We'll see. It depends on how the semester goes. All right. Final notes. I would like to see you all pass, okay? However, your grades are earned. You do the homework assignments. You study your butt off. You get the grade on the exams, okay? And in order to pass the class, I will tell you, you need to spend at least 8 hours per week outside of class studying. So, with all of that, I want to talk about your first homework assignment. Your first homework assignment, and we need to go back to the syllabus page here. With your syllabus, attached to your syllabus, the last page, if you flip to that, you will find a contract. Your first assignment, and yes, this is worth points, is that you sign it and date it and give it back to me. That's it. That's worth 50 points. Normal homework assignments are worth 100. That one's worth 50. That's serious points for signing a piece of paper. Okay? Please read the syllabus, sign this contract, and bring it with you to class. Or you can do it in class. Okay, so that's an introduction to the class, the syllabus, let you know what's what, and your first homework assignment. Alrighty, I'm looking forward to a great semester with you guys.